Hello everyone, this is Andrew Chessroff here, and today I will be going through a game which was Anand versus Caruana. I think that's how you say his name. I just came across this game on chessgames.com, and I just went through it and I thought it was quite interesting. So I'm just going to go right into it, and we have a Ruy Lopez, which is the opening I play against e4, e5 as white. So it'd be good to go through it a bit more. From analysis that I've done, in case you're wondering, what if black plays knight takes e4? Well, you could either play rook e1 or d4, but we're just going to do rook e1 for the moment. Black has knight c5, takes, knight takes, and white gets an advantage in this variation, about half a pawn. So that's why you shouldn't really take the e4 pawn. And what I recommend and what most people play is d4, and after b5, bishop down, bishop, and that is the line, and it also gives you quite a good advantage as well. So after bishop b7, ignoring the pawn, we have rook e1 defending the pawn, because now black's king is now safe from the open file, which would have caused some damage if black had taken before. So b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, castle, and h3. I find this is quite important because if you play a move like, I don't know if it's a good example or not, d4, then there's like, I think you got bishop g4, and this pin is quite annoying, I think. But that's only from my own knowledge, and I'm not completely sure. That's why I think h3 is the best move to play. So rook e8, d4, bishop b7, knight b d2. This is very typical for the knights to reroute over here, come to f4, perhaps over here, support the knight on this square, and then you eventually do a kingside attack. I think that's a typical idea of the Ruy Lopez, which is why black plays bishop e8 to defend this pawn and defend the kingside a bit more. So d5. I also thought a4 was an interesting move, because it undermines these pawns over here and sort of around here and that, and it advances on the queen side and also gains a bit of space as well, which could be quite helpful in the future if the attack doesn't work out for white on the king side. But that's just an idea I had. From what it looks like, it's alright with the engines. So after knight b8, that doesn't matter too much of the knight going to b8 because it just reroutes over here, and c5, the knight's quite good on that square. So knight f1, typical idea. Knight bd7, and this was quite interesting. I didn't really, I was a bit mistaken about this move. I wasn't too sure, but then I finally thought that knight to g4 was quite good. Perhaps you would have something like that, and your knights on this square, on this g4 square, could actually become quite good in the future. That's just my idea that I had about it. So after knight c5, bishop c2, white wants to keep the bishop pair, obviously, as they're stronger in this position. c6, trying to open up the position so black can get his bishop all the way down here, and this bishop could actually become quite good. So after b4, kicking the knight, knight c d7, takes, bishop g5, h6, and bishop takes f6. If in case you're wondering, bishop h4, to me it looks passive, and black gets quite a good advantage according to the engines. Let's just carry on the variation. After bishop e7, knight g4, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, h takes. I'm not too sure about h takes, personally. I guess h takes because the queen is on this file attacking this pawn. It looks alright. Saying queen takes is better. I do agree with that because the queen is on the king's side. But that doesn't matter because that's not part of the game. So after knight takes the bishop, the knight eventually comes to g4, a5, trying to undermine these pawns over here and try and make them a bit weak. Knight takes f6, queen takes, knight f3. To me this looked good because you're attacking these squares, trying to get an outpost on this square and this square. Yeah, it looks good to me. And it also brings the knight into the game. So after c takes b4, and it looks very equal. From what I can remember me saying is the advantage for white is he's got this knight over on these squares. He's got the file against this pawn. He's also got the c file as well. And his bishop, just from me looking at this now, his bishop looks like it could be a bit more better. If you get the bishop over on this diagonal and over along this side, his bishop looks better than the black's bishop. It's just my thoughts. So after d5, trying to open up the bishop, e takes, knight d7, queen b1. And these moves are quite hard for me to explain, actually. I don't really get them, if I am completely honest. I can't really see it from the engine as well. In fact, let's just do a random move, for example. That's not the best move. Do you have bishop down here? What does that do? King h8, bishop e4. No, you don't have anything. Or perhaps you have bishop e4 and then try and advance the pawns, but as I said before, we're going a bit far away from the game, which I don't like. So after d6, rook a d8 is played, and the move to consider is rook e d8, because this rook is very active on this square, because it's stopping the pawn from advancing over here. Yeah, it's just keeping a line on the A file, really. And plus, this rook wasn't really... Sorry. This rook wasn't really doing much on this diagonal. It's a bit trapped. So it could have been better. So as you see, a4 is played. Bishop takes a pawn back. We take e4. Bishop takes e4. Queen f4. Knight f1. Bishop takes b5. and that's a valuable piece now because it's got good diagonal. G3. White obviously threatens to win material, which is a queen. Queen F6. And to me the bishops look like they're coming into play, and they could be quite dangerous on these diagonals over here, and black looks to have a bit more of an advantage. And looking at the engines now, yeah, black does have a bit more of an advantage. So bishop G2, rook takes E1, queen takes, bishop takes F1. Perhaps better was rook E8, knight E3, bishop takes, and queen D1. And it's about equal. And I still like these bishops. They're like trapping the kings off. Possible for rook to come down here if this knight ever moves. So this knight is basically trapped to stay there. So queen takes F1, bishop takes B4, rook A8, rook takes, bishop takes, bishop D6, king D2, king D7, bishop F3, bishop F8. It looks completely drawn to me, and so same with the engines. Queen exchange, bishop takes, and a draw was agreed. It is completely drawn. Exactly the same position, except that bishop's on that square and that bishop's on that square. So I just found this game quite interesting, and I hope you guys find it interesting as well and enjoyed my commentary of it. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos like this weekly. Yeah, hope to see you there. Thank you and goodbye.